Greeting to all. Today in this video we are going to discuss about the topic frequency response, and for obtaining frequency response we have to apply discrete time Fourier transform. And the response what we can obtain from frequency response is magnitude and phase representation. So now we'll move on to the topic. So we all know if you are going to take or if you are going to apply Z transform for the discrete time signal x of n, we can get x of z, and the value of z is r e power j omega. And if you are going to improve further in Z transform, we can obtain discrete time Fourier transform. So by applying discrete time Fourier transform for this discrete time x of n, we can represent that signal as x of e power j omega, and it can be obtained by making the value of r as 1 in the z value. So we know that this is a general mathematical expression for Z transform, and in which we are replacing the value of Z as r e power j omega, and we are taking the value of x of n as h of n, because in this topic we are going to discuss only about the system function, that is h of z. And if you are going to take inverse, the value of inverse of h of z is h of n. So we are taking the value of x of n as h of n here, and now we are taking the value of r as 1 here. So x of e power j omega will become will be equal to a summation n varies from minus infinity to infinity h of n e power j omega the whole power of minus n. So here the value of z is r, by making value of r as 1, the value of z is e power j omega. The another important thing that we have to keep in mind is about region of convergence, but in Z transform we are not having any mandatory of having a unit circle within the region of convergence. It may contain or it may not contain, but only at the time of stability we can we used to discuss about the unit circle. But whereas in this discrete time Fourier transform, all the functions should contain unit circle. So if we can so only if the system is stable we can have the existence of discrete time Fourier transform. But whereas in Z transform we can apply Z transform for both stable as well as unstable system. But whereas here in discrete time Fourier transform, we can say that this discrete time Fourier transform is applicable only to the stable system. So stable in the sense the ROC is going to contain unit circle. So the thing what we are trying to infer from this slide is the ROC must contain unit circle. So for all the stable systems we can apply only for all the stable systems we can apply discrete time Fourier transform. So now we'll move on to the numerical problems. So the question is, evaluate the frequency response of the system described by the system function. The system function is h of z, and it is in the formation of a transfer function. So we are not much familiar or comfortable with by solving the numerical problems with the z power with negative value. So the thing is, we are going to convert all the negative powers of z into a positive power. So after converting all this negative power to a positive power, we can represent this h of z as z divided by z minus 0.5. And now we are going to talk about the region of convergence. So it is this representation is looking like a transfer function for a power n u of n. So it is a causal sequence. So for causal, the modulus of z should be greater than the pole. So here the modulus of z is greater than 0.5. So now we'll check for the existence of h of z. So h of z, that means h of e power j omega dTFT will exist only for the stable system. So if for a stable system, ROC must contain unit circle. Here the value starting from 0.5 and it will move on till infinity. So starting from 0.5 to infinity we are having the value 1. So it contains unit circle. So we can say that h of e power j omega exists. So the very first condition that we have to check for finding the frequency response is existence of h of e power j omega. So the very first thing we have to check for this one. If we are not having a stable system, then we cannot obtain a frequency response. So the thing is, very first thing that we have to do in this discrete time Fourier transform is we have to check for the existence of the h of e power j omega. So now we are going to substitute the h of z value as e power j omega, and here the z is e power j omega divided by e power j omega minus 0.5, and we all know it is the Euler's identity, and we can write this as cos theta plus j sin theta. So here cos omega plus j sin omega, and in divided by the numerator denominator to cos omega plus j sin omega minus 0.5. So now rearranging the terms by starting from real and then imaginary. So here in the numerator cos omega plus j sin omega, so the divided by cos omega minus 0.5 plus j sin omega. So now we'll find the magnitude response for the given system. So we all know for taking the magnitude we have to take modulus value. So for modulus, we know that if you are going to take a modulus of a given value, we can represent as the square root of suppose if you are taking a modulus for complex. So for that time the formula is the square root of real square plus imaginary square. So square root of real value square plus imaginary value square. So here too we are having a real as well as imaginary. So it is in the complex form. So the form we can write it as square root of cos square theta plus sin square omega, the whole divided by, here too the imaginary value, so real value is cos omega minus 0.5. So we are squaring for commonly. So we can write this as cos omega minus 0.5 the whole square plus imaginary square is sin square theta. So we know the formula value cos square theta plus sin square theta is 1, and in denominator in the cos omega minus 0.5 of square, it is in the formation of a minus b the whole square. So we can expand this a minus b the whole square, a square plus b square minus 2ab. So we have expanded, and along with we are having sin square omega. So now again we can simplify, and by making the value of cos square omega plus sin square omega as 1. Okay, so at last we will be getting the value as 1.25 minus cos omega. So this is the magnitude response for this given system function. So now we'll move on to the representation of phase response. So here is a general question. So this is the formation, so in the form of DTFT. So now we are going to take the angle. So the formula is, if it is in the transfer function formation, the formula for finding a phase angle is angle of numerator minus angle of denominator. So angle of we can write the value of angle as tan inverse of b by a. So b in a sense imaginary value divided by real value. So this is the formula. So tan inverse of imaginary by real of numerator minus tan inverse of imaginary by real of denominator. So here in a numerator the imaginary value is sin omega and real value is cos omega, and in denominator the imaginary value is sin omega and real value is cos omega minus 0.5. So here, and we know the formula sin theta divided by cos theta is tan theta, and tan inverse of this value. So tan inverse of tan will give 1. So we'll have only this omega minus tan inverse of sin omega divided by cos omega minus 0.5. So this is the phase representation, that is a phase response of the given sequence. So hope we are familiar with this formula, magnitude and phase formula, starting from the circuit theory until control system and LIC we are familiar with this formula. So up to this we have covered the frequency response for DTFT. So the thing what we have to keep in mind is we have to check for the existence of h of e power j omega first, and then only we have to start to find magnitude and phase response. Thank you.